السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أنا بالسرور جدا بهذه الدعوة إلى حدة المركز الدولي للمعرفة يعني Madin Academy. Good afternoon to everyone. Welcome. I'm really thankful and grateful to be here in this unique place of learning, which is Madin Academy. أشكره شيخ إبراهيم خلول البخاري بشكر الخاص وبقية أعضاء مجلس الإدارة وبالتحديد بدكتور عباس بنكال. I would like to express my gratitude for this invitation to the chairman of Madin Academy, Sheikh Al-Bukhara, and also to Professor Dr. Abbas Banakal for his kindness. We are also celebrating all around the world a very special occasion, which is the year of Zayed, Sheikh Zayed. The legacy of Sheikh Zayed is also displayed here in Kerala this year with this magnificent venue and conferences that are being held. We all feel that Sheikh Zayed had a unique vision. He had a deep generosity in sharing his vision with the people from different cultures and nations, making United Arab Emirates the crossroad between the East and the West. And this is something that I also feel and experience when I'm here in Kerala, a meeting point between East and West. If I had more time, I would develop the matter further. One of the interesting features from an etymological point of view is the Malabar coast. Malabar, from the 16th century onwards, came into the different European languages, for example, my own language, Spanish, and we say Malabarismo. Also in French, it's used Malabarisme, and in the sense of someone that does things with dexterity, with ability. It was applied initially to, because it seems that the European travelers that went to Kerala were considerably amazed by a certain group of people that were able to engage in this kind of juggling skills. So we have this term from Malabar, Malabarism, which also has a positive meaning in our language, in Spanish. It means someone that is capable of doing things with great care, with great ability. This is one of the common, I would say, interesting influences between Spain and Kerala. The second one, which has already been to a certain extent very well explained by the preceding scholars, relates to the period of Vasco da Gama and his coming into India with his fleet in 1498. As you may see, by the year 1500, Portugal had managed to handle a huge empire, an empire that went from Portugal well into Asia. And the Malabar coast played a very important role in this matter. Another interesting point that we share in terms of culture relates to what would be known as Arabic Malayalam. It means, and we also have a similar term in Spanish, al-jamiado, as from this Arabic word al-ajamia, meaning something which is al-ajam, something which is foreign. We use it in the term or in the context of books that were written in Arabic characters, but referring to, but using the local language. These books played an important role for many, I would say, Muslims in the 15th and 16th century in Spain that would be fluent in both languages and would write, they would speak Spanish perfectly, but would write in Arabic. And we have many beautiful books in Al-Ajamia, in Al-Jamiado. This is a sample of a selection of certain surahs, certain verses from the Quran. This is a unique example of a Quran probably written around the year 1605, a time in which, unfortunately, due to political circumstances, many Muslims were not allowed to practice their religion freely in Spain, and so there was this fear that they would eventually, within the Muslim community, the younger Muslims would forget their language. So this is a copy of the Quran in bilingual. It's in Old Spanish and also in Arabic. And they were kept hidden because the authorities at the time would be confiscating this Quran, because it was a time of, unfortunately, of religious persecution. And this is another final example of Al-Jamiado, of Al-Jamia. The text is written fully in Arabic, but it would not be easy to understand because the content is written in the syntax is in Spanish. It's a text from about, let's say, 500 years ago, and the text explains, it's written by a young man, a young Muslim from Spain, and is saying how important it is to keep in the path of the true faith in difficult moments. And he says that even though we are now facing religious persecution, we should hold fast to our doctrines, and it is allowable, he explains, to practice taqiyya, meaning concealment or dissimulation of the faith due to the fear of pressure from the authorities. So this is one of the very unique examples we have of literature written in Al-Jamia, which compares also to the fact that in the Malabar coast, in Malayalam language, also this system of transcription with Arabic, the Arabic alphabet was used. This is like a small gift, I would say, for you today. Yesterday, one of my friends from Spain, that he knows I'm here in Kerala, he said, well, it must be a coincidence because this is the latest publication of one of the major publications, journals on history in Spain. It's the December issue, and it is a special issue that refers to Calicut. So as you can see, the ties between Spain and Kerala and Calicut are very close. Even today in the 21st century, we are still researching and investigating on this matter. Another reason I am here today is because I would like, within the framework of Zayed, we have been fortunate to create this foundation that you see here, the Foundation for Islamic Culture and Religious Tolerance, Muassasa al-Thaqafa al-Islamiyya wal-Tasamuh al-Dini, which I think is a major achievement, which in a certain way reproduces the thoughts of Sheikh Nahyan bin Mubarak al-Nahyan, the Minister of Tolerance of United Arab Emirates, when he stated in his speech in the World Interfaith Harmony Week, good human beings work for peace and cooperation. We wish for a world where individual men and women with a wide variety of cultural and religious beliefs may live in harmony as human beings. The only strategy that will eventually eliminate conflict emerging from religious or cultural differences is direct action. I like this phrase, direct action. And perhaps one of the small efforts that has been done in this huge, vast, I would say, program that has been on a worldwide basis developed for Zayed has been this foundation. I would like to explain briefly what we do and what are our aims and objectives, and why we have created, or we have, like, with the sponsorship of the General Authority of Islamic Affairs and Endowments from United Arab Emirates, under the chairmanship of His Excellency Dr. Matar Al-Kabi, we have received full support to carry out this project in Spain. Our perception of the world in the 21st century is that, unfortunately, although we have a huge material progress, on the other hand, there is also the danger of radicalism. And if we analyze the causes of radicalism, it basically relates to two issues: poverty and ignorance. And so one of the goals of I would say, of any foundation, of any action, relates to developing like culture so that people understand each other, and also to develop a dialogue between different faiths. To conclude, I would like to explain or share with you the three key words which we consider important for our foundation. The first one is foundation in itself, muassasa. The asas in Arabic, like in English foundation, or fundación in Spanish, means something that remains, something, a legacy, something that we can transfer, that goes to other generations, something that is stable. That is the stability we're looking for. Then we have the second term, which is important, which is culture, thaqafa. Thaqafa is a word that appears a number of times also in the Holy Quran, in the sense of thaqafa, of someone with ability, someone who is skillful. And then later in Arabic language, thaqafa, particularly with Ibn Khaldun, for example, we do find this idea of thaqafa that becomes gradually linked to ma'rifa, to knowledge. And finally, we have the third word, tasamuh, tolerance. And tolerance is a very unique value, because I would think, or I would say, it is the minimum standard to advance. And so throughout history, and even today, we have like 4 types of tolerance. We have what we call negative tolerance. Negative tolerance is when you simply, like in colonialism, an elite group allows other groups to follow certain aspects of their culture, of their religion, but it is a relationship that is not based on respect. This is what we would call negative tolerance. It is defined as forbearance without approval. Then we would have neutral tolerance. Neutral tolerance means that each party stays in one corner and they respect each other, but they don't interact. This was particularly the case in Europe following the so-called Peace of Augsburg in 1555, which is a time in which there were the conflict, the wars of religion between Catholics and Reformists. And so finally Europe was split like in 2 great divisions, and each of them retained their own form of religion. We have then a third type of tolerance, which is positive tolerance. Positive tolerance is a concept that comes from the Enlightenment and from the works of many philosophers, like John Locke in his Epistola the tolerancia, and means that diversity is seen as something enriching, a factor which is part of every culture. And finally, the fourth type of tolerance would be dynamic tolerance. And this is the type of tolerance that our foundation is aiming for, dynamic tolerance. It means not only, it means interacting with other communities, it means learning more about each other, it means sharing experiences, it means cooperating in providing a stable social framework for the future generations. I once again wish to thank the authorities of Madin Academy for their kind invitation. I want to thank each of you today for being here. It's a unique experience for me, and I'm really enjoying every minute of it. Thank you very much.